Hello and welcome to round 8 of the Invictus Racing League's F1 League. I am your commentator, H Racing Green, once again returning to the commentary box for this Grand Prix. We are live from the Sakhir International Circuit in Bahrain, in the desert under the lights, and we are about to get underway for this 12-minute qualifying session to decide the starting grid for these 14 drivers we have got this evening. Out go some of the drivers then. Let's take a look. We've got Cliffy in the Red Bull heading out following his victory last time out in Brazil. His first attempt, he managed to take the victory in a stellar effort. And looking else, we've got Delange, 93 there in the Ferrari. Who else? We've got Apollo there in the Sauber, who unfortunately did not finish in Brazil. He was involved in a pretty tight battle in the midfield, but sadly did not make it to the end of the race. Who else? We've got Foxy Red, championship leader. He is in the McLaren. Once again, he has got a 12-point advantage over the Mercedes driver, Sam Bankid, who in turn is 4 points clear of UK Tranquility, who did not start in Brazil, and who is another point clear of Gamer, who is now in fourth, the teammate to Sam Bankid. We're going to be looking for someone on a lap then. Plexit's not seen this driver before here in the Toro Rosso car. I'm just going to quickly get up some telemetry. Here we are then, as he starts his flying lap. Let's see what the Toro Rosso driver can do. Brakes now for the first corner just before the 100 metre ball, down into only third gear, gets the traction out thanks to that, accelerates through the quick left, then the right up the hill towards the pretty difficult right-hander here. Brakes just after the 100 metre ball. Got to be careful not to hit too much of that inside curve, as it will completely unsettle your car. Gets quite a nice exit out of there, clip the curve on the left and turn in, take the late apex to get the fast run through this second left part. Now down into the tricky hairpin, easy to lock up into there, again using third for the slow corner, interestingly. He's a little bit hesitant on the power because of that though, and just taking a little bit of extra time to pick up. Now runs it out wide and cuts back again. Pretty nice through there, again a little bit of hesitation on the throttle because of the high gear usage. Opens DRS along this back straight. He's going to want to maximise all the road he can, doesn't quite do that, but does use a lot of inside curve, again using a high gear, catches the outside curve, unsettles the car a little bit. Through this flat out right hander, he's going to again want to maximise all the road he can. Quite a nice run through there, a little bit of oversteer on exit, but nothing to worry about. He heads along this final straight, he's got to nail the braking for this final corner, can be tricky, don't hit too much inside curve, actually misses the apex a little bit, touches that outside curve. Apollo with a 130 flat to begin, but it's a 28.6 for Plexit, who takes provisional pole of the two people who have set times. Cliffy on the soft tyre, so that's the middle compound available to the drivers at this round, goes second with a 29 flat, 0.4 off the Plexit's time. Tamworth Fox in the other Sauber does a 29.1 to go now P5, as Ollie sets a 29 flat on Supers, and Delange does a 29.1 on Supers. Foxy Red, championship leader, a little bit off the pace on that first lap, only a 30.5 for him. Whelan then, after a stellar effort last time out with that comeback drive and his first race with no traction, he's going to be hoping for more of the same this time, I'm sure. Also on the soft tyre, what can he do? He sets a 29.6 to go provisionally P6 on the softs, the second of the soft running cars. Only two of those at the moment. Shortbread on his outlap currently. Coming to the end of that. Let's see, M. Doran, not seen him on the track before, or not that I know of. as he's heading towards the line now in his Williams, opens the DRS, crosses the line, he goes P3, it's a 28.9, just behind the Boogster, or the Boogster, I have no idea how to say that. 711, another driver I haven't seen before. So the top three currently unknowns to me. I've not heard of any of these drivers before, so very impressive to see all of these guys up and fighting in the pointy end of the field. Very close as well, just 100 separating P1 and 2. Everyone coming in, let's see, anyone not set a time, we'll be looking at Shortbread. Here he comes through turn 4. This is his first attempt, he's on the supers. Through that right, using a lot of steering lock. Oh, gets caught on the curb, gets launched off the track. That is not going to help him. Could be an invalidation. Definitely cost him some time. How about Sam Kid, second place man in the championship. In the Mercedes. Into the left. Bit of a lock-up, using second, sorry, to try and get the car round the corner. We have got 14 viewers. Absolutely fantastic numbers. Thank you very much. As we come through the left, locks up a little bit again, but does just about hit the apex. Through that right, oh, locks up again. Misses that apex slightly, there's a bit of traffic up ahead. Could he actually be coming in on this lap? It's not been the best of laps. And he is going to complete his lap. Out through the final corner, not too bad in that one. What's he going to set? It's a 28.5, so I was clearly had no idea what I was talking about there. As he crosses the line. And that puts him on provisional pole by just under 1.2 tenths. And the only car not to set a time is Shortbread. He did not make it to the end of his run. And that is a great lap from Sam Kid. As out goes a McLaren, that'll be Foxy Red, I believe. Yes, out he goes. So with 4 minutes 40 to go, most cars will be in the pits right now. But quite a few. Sorry, not quite a few. Just a couple still out there. And Shortbread actually heading out. Shortbread, sorry, Foxy Red just heading out. Clearly not happy with that lap time, and I mean, I don't blame him. It's not great. Half a second off the next car and last of the cars with a set of time, so he is really going to want to improve on this next run. He'll have time for 2 laps, but that is a risky strategy here as the tyre wear is quite high. It's quite a difficult circuit for getting the strategy to play into your hands, but if you can, then huge advantages can be gained. He does have a lot of time to need to make up though. Let's take a look at some other cars that are out there. Apollo is out there on his outlap. Excuse me. And doing a bit of weaving there on his outlap. Probably not necessary, actually just wearing the tyres out a little bit more. The tyres do tend to just come in by themselves if you just drive a relatively well-paced outlap without wearing them out too much. And I think we're going to ride on board with Foxy Red for his lap. He'll be the first car to complete his second lap run, so we will see how he gets on. Uses 4th gear, gets the traction out of the final corner, and here he goes then. He'll be in maximum fuel, I'm sure. Opens the DRS into 8th gear as he crosses the line to begin his second attempt. Currently 2 seconds off pole. Brakes just before the 100 metres, uses 2nd gear, and then first. That slowed his car down a lot. That was possibly not ideal. But he gets a decent run out of there, up the hill. First gear did rotate the car, but it also bogged it down, slowed it right down a lot as the rear wheels locked. 3rd gear through there, and then 4th, using as much road as he can get away with to get the exit out of that corner nice and quickly. Takes a slightly early apex, using a lot of curb, and rotates the car using that inside curb on the left-hand part. 2nd gear for the hairpin, doesn't go for first this time. There is a bit of traffic, thankfully gets out the way. Heading towards the left, tricky double left-hander. Easy to lock up here, uses first to rotate the car. Probably wanted to shift up to second a little bit earlier there, because again the car didn't quite accelerate out the corner as he might have wanted. Now heading to this left-hander here, brakes just before the 50-metre board, uses 4th gear, hits that apex nicely, doesn't run out too wide, Now through this flat-out right-hander, this is pretty simple. Now it's about getting the entry to this corner just right. Takes the late apex. Nicely done. Gets the power down nice and early. Slides the car right in the corner. Carries maximum speed. And now into the final corner. Brakes just under the gantry. Into the right. Third gear, fourth gear, out. Fifth, sixth, and now he'll run to the line. What is he going to do? He opens the DRS. It is a 28.8 to put him fourth. A 1.7 second improvement. Oh, and Apollo immediately beats him by just less than half a tenth. And there is a yellow in sector 2, so Apollo beats Proxy Red to P4. And now let's look at the Boogster, as he is currently in the conversation for pole position. The Toro Rossos having a great showing here so far. Second and third on the grid for these guys. Let's see what more they can achieve. Really wringing the engine out there. That's an interesting tactic. Usually find that the engine runs out of power that high in the rev band. Accelerating out. Oh, didn't quite get the run out of there he might have wanted. Now through the right-hander. Oh, changes down a bit too late. Turns in very aggressively. Misses the apex. Into this right-hander. Hits that apex nicely. He's got to get the run out though. Does that. Whelan has gone second. Just 23, oh, cuts that. That's going to be an invalidation. 23 thousandths behind, and Cliffy goes fast with a 28 flat, so that's soft tyre time. Clearly he wasn't happy with that. He annihilates the field by half a second. But Whelan with a solid lap there as well, just 23 thousandths off of Sam Bankid. What can Plexits and the Bugs to do now? 4th and 5th. Foxy Red Championship leader all the way down to 8th. That's really not what he was looking for. And into the right, and there we go. Qualifying is over. So, and he comes into the pits. He's clearly not happy with that. Chillo Cookie, what is he? He's got no fuel left. Apollo is in the pits. Foxy Red run out of fuel. M Doran, is he on anything? Currently Sam Bankid on a lap. We might have to flick to him. Let's see what this Williams can do. Plexit stays 4th. He's really revving the engine out. M Doran goes 8th fastest. Let's look at Williams not on a lap. Sam Bankid is on a lap. Can the second place man in the championship steal pole? Oh, doesn't get the ideal run out of there, a little bit of oversteer. And through this right now at the final corner, locks up again. It does get a pretty nice run through there. He heads for the line. Opening DRS, he sets a 28.4. It's not good enough for pole. It is a 10th improvement, but no good for any advances. Ollie running out of fuel. Is he on the lap? Cliffy then goes and sets a 27.9, so he's done 2 laps on that set of tyres. Really kind of unnecessarily, actually, because he's now put an extra flying lap on those tyres. It's not going to help him in that early stint. For not a lot of gain, really. He didn't need to do that. He was already on pole, but clearly felt like there was more time in his lap. Ollie goes P4 with a 28.5, just behind Whelan. And Shortbread finally sets the time. He is going to be 3rd. The 28.4, just 67 thousandths behind Sam Bankid. Whelan is 4th, Ollie 5th. Toro Rossos, after a strong start, couldn't improve either of their times, and so start 6th and 7th. Chillo Cookie at 8th. But Apollo can only manage 9th. M Doran is 10th, and championship leader Foxy Red was 10th for quite a while there, and has actually been bumped down to 11th, which might be to his advantage, to be honest, because starting 10th is pretty much the worst place you can start on this game, with worn tyres, but at the back of the people with worn tyres, you don't get the advantage of the fresh ones. So, we'll wait for this session to tick down. For those of you watching, leave in the comments your predictions for who you reckon's going to take this one. Who do we think? Will it be Cliffy with that immense pace to go half a second clear at the top of the field? We're going to have Sam Bankid take another win, making it his 3rd of the season. Or will we have Shortbread take his 1st win? Maybe we'll see someone from further back. Maybe we'll see the championship leader come surging through the field. It really is quite an unknown because, I mean, down from Cliffy, this field is very close. We've only got 4 tenths covering P2 to P11. Only 7 tenths covering P2 to P14, so There we go, the session ticks down then. Oh, we got Cliffy OP. I might be inclined to agree with you there. There you are, confirmed results of qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix here in Invictus Racing League F1. Cliffy for Red Bull takes pole position yet again. It's Sam Bamke in second. Shortbread is third with Wheelam in fourth. Ollie is fifth. It's sixth for Plexit and his teammate Boogster lines up in seventh. Chilo Cookie is eighth. Apollo is ninth. M. Dawn rounds out the top 10. Foxy Red Delange in 11th and 12th. Nicky is 13th. Tamworth Fox rounds out the field in P14. Not miles off the pace. Oh, trying not to get a copyright strike. I already left it to play the first time, so that's not ideal. There we are. Right, so we're on the starting grid. We are waiting to see how this race pans out. The drivers will be selecting their strategies. Those outside the top 10 will be selecting which tyres they'll start on, how much fuel to load the car with, any small setup changes they feel are necessary. And there we go, the countdown starts. There we are then. Oh, we don't have any sound. That's not ideal. As on the formation lap they go. Cliffy leads them away very, very slowly. Gap to lead will have tyre. There we are then. Everyone on the supers except for Tamworth Fox, who's gone for the soft tyre. Interesting that the all people outside the top 10 have not opted for that tyre. Parkway is going to burn his house down in order to watch the start of this Grand Prix. It's a wise choice. I hope Charlie holds them on the grid for a long time. On the back straight they come. Cliffy, having started off very slowly, is now rocketing round on this formation lap, running in 7th and 8th gear the whole way. There we go, starting to come down the gears again now. Top 3 have pulled out an immense gap to the guys behind. What's gone on there? Wheelam clearly holding back the rest of the two Hasses, of course, have held back a trade. It's, are you letting the cars in front tyres go cold or something? Trying to force the top guys to sit around on the field for a bit. And okay, Plexit and Ollie Flavel have crashed into each other at the final corner. Thankfully, not a full disqualification. Yeah, Wheelam's actually just, he's heard that Parkway's house is going to burn down if the race doesn't start soon, and has decided to hold them all back by 10 seconds. Here we go then, they line up on the grid. That's a horrible camera angle, I don't want that one. Is there a better one somewhere? No. Alright then, they're lined up on the grid. Oh, there we go. It's 5 red lights. And away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix. The Mercedes gets a good start. He's going to pull alongside the Red Bull into turn 1. We've got to be careful of the Force India. Oh, and there's all sorts of contact. There's a McLaren spinning. That's the championship leader, Delange and Nicky, all involved in contact at the first, before the run to the first corner even. Foxy Red gets a 10-second stop-go. Sorry, 5-second stop-go for corner cutting. Sam Bamkid is going to take the lead. Shortbread is at the inside on Cliffy. He doesn't get the move done. They're going to go side by side as they head towards turn 5 and 6. They make it out all through there. The top four very close together. Ollie is right on the back of them. Oh, up the inside. There's a bit of contact between the Force India and the Haas driver. That's not ideal on the first lap. Is he going to try the dive on the inside at the left? He does not. Cello Cookie's made it up to 5th on the first lap. Whelan sadly dropping down to 6th. M. Duran up 3 places. Apollo in 8th. It's Tamworth Fox from the back of the field up to 9th place. Then the Boogster has fallen all the way down to 10th. Plex it's the same. Oh, and he's nearly gone for the move. Just about avoids it. Plex is 11th. Nicky is in 12th with a lot of front wing gone. Foxy Red seemingly damage free. Maybe a little bit of damage to that end, to that left end plate there. And Delange with no wing at all. That's an absolute disaster for the Ferrari man. He will have to come in and really hope for a miracle in this race. But Sam Bamkid leads the field as we come to the end of the first lap. It is Sam Bamkid from Cliffy 7765, Shortbread 24, rounds out the podium positions at the moment, with Ollie right up behind him. Cello Cookie a little way back, half a second on the first lap he's dropped from the top 4. That's really not the end of the world, but you won't want to keep losing that amount of time each lap. Up the hill they come then for the second time. Heading towards the right-hander at turn 4. Line astern. Sam Bamkid starting to break away from Cliffy just a little bit. The gap nearly a second now. And Shortbread really close to the back of the Red Bull driver. Up at that bump, you can see the cars move around on that bump. Oh, Ollie runs off the track in the dirty air. Do that too many times, you end up with track extension penalties, which are not what any driver wants. Oh, nearly runs into the back of the Force India. Manages to avoid the contact there and stays roughly 5 or 6 tenths behind the Force India man. Who's actually dropped a little way off Cliffy now, having been very, very close to the first sector. And Ollie actually dropped back towards Cello Cookie. That's the wrong way. Oh, short break, it's a bit of a kick of oversteer. As we head on to lap 3, Cliffy sets the fastest lap of the race. It's a 32.1. DRS has been enabled by race control, and there's no 100 metre board thanks to that contact. At the first corner, I think that was Foxy Red spinning McLaren that hit that, so sadly drivers now going to have to slightly guess their braking points, as they are of course running the line. Doran and Delange have opted for the mediums. I didn't think Doran had any damage, but I was clearly mistaken. He's pit for a set of mediums, as was Delange. He was forced into it. Nicky has stayed out actually. He's in P12, but he did have damage, but despite that he's not actually dropping off the back of the field too much at all. In fact, he's really relatively keeping pace. Let's take a look at this battle then. We've got a battle for P7. Tamworth, having come from the back of the field, is up to 7th. That's a great effort in these opening laps. We've got Tamworth leading his teammate Apollo, then it's the 2 Toro Rossos, and Foxy Red not too far back either. Championship leader really showing what he is made of to come back from that disaster at the first corner. If he were to not score any points, he would lose the championship lead on countback, as he has only had 1 win. Sam Bamkid would have 3 if it finished now. Of course, there's a long way to go in this race. Anything can happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. Cliffy sets another fastest lap of the race. It's another 32.1. So fast and remaining consistent. That's pretty much what every driver is after. And Whelan and Cookie engaged in a battle. Whelan passes Cookie for P5. Oh, nearly loses the rear end going up the hill. Gets caught on the curb, and now they'll be side by side once again. Looking across, there's the Williams, who will be later on the brakes. I think it's the Haas actually, as he manages to hold his line around the outside. They are side by side into turns 5 and 6 now. He yields for the moment, lets the other car take the inside line, but the Williams actually got a little bit out of balance. Oh, and a lovely move up the inside. Goes for the fake, but the Williams sort of saw it coming. Manages to hold the move around the outside. And he's... Oh, there's a little bit of contact. The Williams braking quite early there. The Haas having to stamp on the brakes. Locks up a bit of contact. Thankfully, nothing too major. While these guys are battling, Tamworth, Apollo, Bookster will be closing in. Foxy Red has passed Plexits now. Plexits actually drops a little way back, so I think possibly an error was made. Let's quickly look back. Yeah, I think so. So let's look from Tamworth Fox perspective. He's got to be licking his lips right now. He can see a top 5 there. Oh, as Chillo Cookie makes a huge mistake into that right-hander. Changes down an extra gear, perhaps. Now, as we head towards the final corner, Whelan will get the DRS detection there. I think that's where it is. Goes up the inside. The Force India actually tried the cut back. Yes, he did. He does get DRS. So Chillo Cookie not quite engineering that one to his design, but does he have a low error setup on because he's pulling alongside the DRS with the DRS gifted Haas as he turns in. Oh, it's very close. There's nearly contact, and now the Sauber is getting in on this action. Can he make anything of this? We saw this last week. We saw how a lot of drivers would clump together and end up battling, and the car that was at the back would often take advantage of the cars in front battling. So we could really be seeing that kind of scenario again, especially as we have drivers on the supers who are competing drivers on the softs. And as the supers wear out, the guys on the softs will start to have an advantage, I think. Chillo is all over the back of these guys. So I think the pace is oh, and there's contact. Chillo Cookie's early braking, catching out some drivers here, and he's knocked off his end plate. So Tamworth, just as I said that, I cursed him a touch. Has knocked off his end plate. That's not going to play into his strategy at all. He's going to be slow, and he'll have to pit early, which ruins his strategy of running longer on these softs. And he's run off the track as well due to that damage. So that's not ideal at all. I don't think it's any malicious intent from Chillo. It's just where he brakes. He brakes early, and the drivers aren't quite ready to, don't quite react fast enough. Not at the inside, sorry, around the final corner. Oh, a bit of oversteer on exit. Is Tamworth going to pit? He does not. Bookster has been passed, has passed Apollo, and Foxy Red has passed Apollo as well, and now he's chasing down the Bookster for P8. Will he get it up the inside, maybe down the outside here? No, opts against it, but will the Bookster run wide? No, he's braked nice and early, got the line, blocked the pass for the time being. Oh, a bit of oversteer for the McLaren driver. Up the hill towards turn 4 once again. Look at other battles on the field. We've got Cliffy still about half a second behind Sam Bankid. No advances there. Shortbread and Ollie sort of spreading out a little bit. Nicky has passed Apollo and Plexits. There's been contact. Plexits has lost his front end plate, and I think he went for a move up the inside, misjudged it. Has allowed Nicky to take advantage. Nicky's got front wing damage. Oh, dearie me, that was that's an interesting racecross as Apollo throws one at the inside. Nicky had no idea where it was coming. There's contact, and that's not what we want to see. So a lot of wing damage been sustained in this race so far. Let's take a look back at this battle for first position. No advances at the moment. Pit light is green for the Red Bull. Will we see him come in? Strategy will come into play, I'm sure. As we saw last time, the Mercedes guys opted for the supers at the end of the race rather than the softs, as most of the other guys did. Tamworth dropped behind Foxy Red at the final corner, I think that is, and as I was saying, the Mercedes guys opted for supers as opposed to softs at the end of the race, trying to get that quick end of the race charge. So that didn't quite pay off if he still took the victory, but strategy amongst these drivers is interesting. It's not quite as clear cut as you might see in other leagues. Sometimes these guys are not afraid to try something new, not afraid to go for something a bit alternative and hope that it works out, which is good to see. Having a cookie cutter one-stop race could always be pretty boring, so having a few guys opt for alternative strategies, with you've got those 3 guys there on the mediums, which an early stop to the mediums, they'll probably be forced to stop again. guys are pretty evenly matched. But if you notice, Shortbread now 1.9 seconds off the lead, so he's starting to close in maybe a little bit. These guys start to possibly hold each other up. I don't think one is particularly faster than the other, but together they're not working together particularly well, getting caught up in dirty air in the middle sector, etc. And in comes Cliffy, there we go, just starts talking about strategy, he has gone for the undercut. And he's just driven out of the pit garage, what on earth, Codemasters please. He's gone for the softs, there we are. And he is going to rejoin in P7. Whelan, Cookie, Tamworth and Apollo all pitting. So Tamworth has gone for the same stop time as the... has gone for the same stop time as the soft tyre runners. That's the super soft tyre runners, sorry. So, other than the wing damage really not helping him, he was forced to pit early and that's really hurt him. So now we're going to see, is Cliffy on these soft tyres? He had good pace in qualifying on the softs, was only 4 tenths off the provisional pole at the time, ended up going about a second faster, so can he take full advantage of the fresh tyres? He's not got any traffic, so he won't have that to worry about. And we're going to look to see if Sam Bankin pits this lap. He's got Shortbread about 2 seconds behind him, so Shortbread not really making any inroads on the lead currently. As he heads to the pits, here we go then, the Mercedes driver, what is he going to go for? Guy's going for the softs now, probably, well I mean it's pretty much guaranteed they'll be on the 2-stop. Guys going for mediums, might just about be able to make it to the end, will probably have to go an extra couple of laps, but there you are, he's on the softs, he gets held by the Haas of Ollie, that's not ideal. There's a yellow in sector 2, Foxy Red takes provisional lead for the moment, oh and that's the Williams of M. Durant, he has crashed, or M. Durant, I don't really know how to say that, sorry. He has spun coming through that long left, possibly touched the outside curb, he's broken off his end plate, so that early switch to mediums not paying off in that scenario there. Nicky goes for the softs and a fresh front wing, one would imagine. Yes, there it is. Whelan out there, he is P7, just behind his teammate. Oh, and he gets barged by the Williams of Chillo Cookie. Chillo, who has gone for the super soft tyres, so he'll be going for a longer stint at the end of the race. On the inside comes the Haas driver. These guys have been battling pretty much all race long now. And Durand retires as expected. He has had enough of that. That's been an absolute disaster for him here in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Just 9 laps in. Not what we like to see. Through this left-hander, he's still within DRS range, but of course Gillo on those supers will have the advantage. I will not be surprised to see him pull away here in this part of the stint. Perhaps as the stint goes on, the softs will start to come back to Whelan as the supers go off, and he'll catch him back up. But for now, we'll probably be seeing this Williams pull away from the Haas quite considerably, and potentially catching the other Haas in P6. So Foxy Red and the Bugs are the only cars not to stop yet, I believe. Apollo down to 13 on the softs there, as we can see. Cliffy's at the fastest lap of 31.4. So he is on the pace. Sam Bankin has indeed been jumped by quite the margin, 2.8 seconds. So the undercut combined with the slight hold in the pit box comes now. So during this part of the race, we do tend to see the field spread out a little bit. If we look down to Foxy Red and Cliffy, not Cliffy, sorry, not Foxy Red and Plexits. No, Plexits and the Boogster, sorry, I am steering me out blind. The Toro Rosso guys battling for P9 in this race. They're very close together. Will we be seeing battling between them, or are they going to go? Are they going to go for some team orders to try and preserve this double points finish on their debut drives? I think it's their debut drives anyway. I've not seen them yet. Of course, I only joined during round 5. And actually, Foxy Red not going overly quickly. Shortbread sets the fastest lap of the race. Foxy Red, though, dropping back towards these Toro Rosso cars a little bit. So as DRS opens for this second Toro Rosso, the Boogster, will he make a move up the inside? Here he comes. He's going to look at it. His teammate leaves the door open, not wanting any intra-team contact. They're going to go side by side up the hill. He yields. And now we're going to see if the Boogster can make any advances on the championship leader, currently in P8. As Nicky drops behind Delange there. Nicky has made an error by the looks of things. He's hit the gravel. We've got the maximum revs glitch. That's not fun. But Nicky down to 12th now, having hit the gravel somewhere on the exit of the first complex of corners. Sam Bamkin, looking at the gap, has dropped about half a second to Cliffy in the laps since the pit stops, and is slowly falling back into the clutches of Shortbread. I think now only 1.4 seconds the gap. As I said, I thought we'd see the Williams pull away from the Haas in the early part of this stint, but that has not really been the case. The gap has remained at 0.8 of a second. And so, perhaps with such close pace on different tyres, we could be seeing Whelan take the advantage later on when they are on, when he has the tyre advantage. Hill, will he make a move in this stint, in fact, because he's really closing the gap down. Through 5 and 6 complex, downhill into the hairpin. Gap remains at about 5 or 6 tenths each time. Oh, bit of oversteer on exit, that's not ideal. I'm going to do gap interval, there we go, so 7 tenths currently. Shortbread now only 1.1 seconds behind Sam Bamkin. Why is Sam Bamkin not quite on the pace at the moment? Not quite sure why that is. But Shortbread is really on it. He is catching the Mercedes driver pretty quickly. Oh, and Sam Bamkin runs wide on the exit of the second to last corner. That is not what he will be looking for. Boogster and Foxy Red about 4 tenths apart now. Let's quickly move down to them. No change right now. Runs wide as well, seemingly running wide. Bit of a trend at that corner. Driver's getting on the power, trying to get on the power as early as possible. Understeering a little bit. Here we go then. This is the closest the Toro Rosso has been. He's going to be in the DRS range. He'll be in the slipstream. He tucks into the hole that McLaren is punching through the air. McLaren moves to the inside to go defensive. That will leave the inside available for turn 2. The Toro Rosso wants to brake earlier and harder to get the run out of turn 1. It will switch back to turn 2. He gets a nice acceleration out of there. The McLaren perhaps catching a little bit on the curb, but he will be on the outside again for turn 4. Will he brake early to get the cutback? No, he's going to opt to hold the outside line. He does that, but that's no. That's not going to work. The cutback doesn't work at every corner. Definitely doesn't work at that one, especially not if you jump on the brakes in the mid-corner. And unfortunately, that did not pay out for him there. He needed Foxy Red to really carry too much speed through there for that to pay off for him. And actually, he is now dropping time to his team. Oh dear, I say that. He's dropping time to his teammate a little bit here. But his teammate had just run off the circuit and has done so again. That is not what he wants. I'm not sure how he's making or why he's making all these mistakes suddenly. And actually, as I was talking, Sam Bamkid has dropped behind Shortbread. I didn't even realise this had happened. Sam Bamkid is now 7 tenths behind Shortbread. Shortbread clearly caught and passed the man easily. It was no trouble to him, it seems. And now the second place man in the championship is dropping more points. Now that's not what he needs, especially when Foxy Red is still scoring points in this race so far. Obviously, it will still be an advantage. As we can see on his dashboard there briefly, it said 2.3 seconds lost on the previous lap, so clearly an error made by the Mercedes driver, I think. And Foxy Red and the Books are currently battling once more. Here he comes then. This is going to be interesting. He's going to force him to the outside of the circuit. They're going to run side by side. Toro Rosso now the inside line. That is some extremely aggressive racing from the McLaren. He goes for the cutback. This time it works because he's managed to carry much more speed. Didn't jump on the brakes mid-corner. Bit of contact. Very, very aggressive stuff. And the McLaren maintains P8 for now, but the championship leader really, really coming under pressure from this Toro Rosso pilot. Oh, he goes up the inside. The McLaren leaves the door wide open. Manages to just about get the drive out the corner and maintain the position, but he is really, really under pressure. Sort of desperation defensive tactics at the moment. Nothing there, not quite close enough, and it's a tricky corner to overtake into anyway. And as all of this is happening, Plexit's catching back up again. So, despite those errors, he is not losing time because these guys are really, really battling hard. Tamworth Fox is 10 seconds away from anyone. And there's about 5-second gap to Foxy Red behind, but he might be beginning to drag that out a little bit. Oh, at the inside there's a bit of contact again, and the Toro Rosso goes round. That is absolutely, I mean, I'm not often one to call blame on incidents, but I think that was the fault of the Toro Rosso there. Misjudged the braking a little bit, touches the rear wheel, ends up spinning himself out, but leaves his teammate there now to try and take that P8. Thankfully didn't lose too many positions. Nicky and Delange battling. Let's see, at the inside, there's pretty big tyre disparity there, so... And now, Plexit's has got to try and pass Foxy Red, but he's not quite got the same pace that his teammate had, so he might not be seeing any change. Sam Bamkin now second off of Shortbread. Whelan only a second off of Cookie still. There's 14 laps to go in this race, so just less than half distance remaining. We will still have another round of stops to go yet, and plenty more can happen. Sam Bamkin has actually caught Shortbread and touched that lap. Oh no, he hasn't. It said 0.8 briefly, but it has now opened the gap back up again. Again, not too many battles happening now that the spin for the Toro Rosso. There is this battle here, about half a second gap, but I think Nicky has got the measure of Delange. And thanks to those super soft tyres, bit of oversteer for Delange on the exit of that corner there. Any advances here? We've got NTL Wheeler has closed up a little bit. Now, I think potentially the Supers on that Williams going off. As I said, they might, yeah, really closing in now. Look at this, you can actually see the wear on those tyres, so could be seeing him in fairly soon. Will the Haas go for a move here? Probably not close enough. We'll wait for the start and finish straight if the Williams doesn't pit this lap. And if he does, I think he'll need to go onto the mediums, because I don't think a set of softs will last another 13 laps. These guys have only done 8 laps on this set so far, so one needs to go onto the softs. Probably going to need another 2 or 3 laps, potentially maybe another lap or so, if they get good wear on them. So into the final corner comes Whelan in that Haas. He's chasing down Cookie. Will Cookie pit? Yes, he will, as expected. In he comes. From the Supers, he will go on to the soft tyre. There they are. Well, it says soft. I don't know if that's actually the case. It is the soft tyre he's gone onto. Plexus and Foxy Red now he's closed right back in again. So I was actually, when I said I didn't think he had the pace, I was clearly wrong, because here he comes up the inside. The McLaren sort of leaves the door open but then doesn't. That was an interesting manoeuvre. Nicky and Delange both pit at the same time, despite being on completely different tyres. Delange, of course, actually haven't been on those mediums for quite some time. Goes on to the softs, as does Nicky. Those guys will want to go to the end. So about 12 lap lifespan for the softs, it looks like then. It was about 7 or 8 laps for the supers, so potential for super running at the end of the race. Oh, and there goes the rear end on the Toro Rosso. Fires him towards the edge of the circuit, and he drops away from the McLaren once more. Okay, Shortbread in the pits then. Just take a look at that. He's gone for another set of softs. He's gone for the early stop. He's going to go for the longer final stint. Try and get that undercut though. Hope that he doesn't get caught and passed on the supers at the end of the race. However, he has had good pace on the softs, so perhaps this will work for him. He's going to come out just ahead of Tamworth Fox, who hasn't stopped yet, so nothing to worry about from behind. The hairpin. Cliffy has pulled out a 6-second advantage on Sam Bamkid now. So he really doesn't have anything to worry about, I don't think. I think he could be well on the way to his second win. Unless he, of course, opts for the supers and has horrifying pace on those at the end of the race, but I highly doubt that, considering he took pole by half a second. Let's see, will he come in? He will indeed. And it looks like 11 laps, the lifespan on these soft tyres. Imagine he'll go for another set of soft. Sam Bamkid, he does not come in. He's going to go for the overcut, and I can almost guarantee he will go for the supers at the end of the race. Much like he did in Brazil, he'll be looking for that quick pace at the end of the race to try and catch back up and make the overtake for the win. We'll have to see how that pans out. Cliffy, yes, as expected, goes on to the soft tyres. He's going to come out behind Whelan, which could be a bit of an issue for him. Chillo has pit there, as we saw earlier, so Whelan 2.5 seconds up the road from Cliffy. Depending on how long he stays out on these tyres, could be another lap or two. Depending if Cliffy catches him, he could really hold up the Red Bull driver and give the Mercedes car a bit of a break, possibly nullify the undercut a touch, and allow Sam Bamkid to make a full-on assault for the win at the end of this race. But that remains to be seen. It's all speculation. There's still 10 laps to go in this race. Apollo in the pits. He's gone for another set of softs by the looks of things. Drops back down. There's more. What will the race leader do then as we ride with him? Sorry, not the race leader. Yes, the race leader, sorry. We're not riding with him, but we are questioning what he's doing. Sam Bamkid goes for the supers. Will Ollie go for the supers as well? He will. Cliffy has jumped him. Cliffy sets a 30.5. And out goes Sam Bamkid. He is behind Shortbread, so once again, that undercut coming into fruition. But Sam Bamkid about 7 and a bit seconds off the net lead. And he has now got his work cut out once again. He had a big gap to try and make up in Brazil. It didn't quite work out. Oh, gamer that was that time actually, but the point stands. These Mercedes drivers love the fast tyre at the end of the race to really push on with. Foxy Red has not stopped again yet, nor has Plexits, and nor has the Bookster, so they're all going to be stopping for Supers pretty soon, I'm sure, and probably be dropping out of points if they do stop. Now, Cliffy has passed Wheelam. I imagine Wheelam will be coming in for a set of Supers pretty soon. If I'm just going to change back to leader, so... And is he going to move across? Yes, he does. He'll come in for a set of Supers, I'm sure. And we'll probably drop to about P7, P8, probably P9-ish, that sort of area. But obviously those guys will need to stop as well. Foxy Red, what is he doing? Ollie eventually went for the softs, sorry, not the Supers. I saw the Supers on his pit box, but clearly the game shows otherwise. Plexits remains out, as does the Bookster. So all of these medium guys potentially trying to go to the end. That's a pretty bold strategy. We'll have to see how it pays out. Foxy Red now with a few guys with fresh tyres on behind him. Sam Bamke gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting. That's not what he needs, but he is already only 5.5 seconds off the lead, sorry, so he is really, really on a charge. Much smaller gap to make up this week than he had last week. Oh, misses that apex though. That is not what he needs, and he will drop some more time. .7 the gap now. He needs to make the most of these laps. He's got 8 laps to go at the end of this one. At 5.7 seconds, he's going to need roughly about 0.7 of a second a lap, I think. Yeah, about that to get past, to catch and pass these guys. And whether he can maintain that, I'm sure he has that pace now. It's whether he can maintain that as we head onwards. He only does a 30.9 that time, so that's not what he needed. So he needs to be doing much lower 30s after Cliffy did a 30.5 on his fastest lap. Making the inroads he needs, I don't think. Sliding a little bit through some of these corners as well, which is really not ideal. .8 the gap. This is more like it. This is the advances he needs, but noticing that Shortbread closing in on Cliffy a little bit there, because the gap now 1.7 between Sam Bamke and Shortbread, but Shortbread only 3 seconds off of the lead, so top cars starting to converge potentially. Why are we seeing this from Cliffy? 7/10 down. Did he potentially make a mistake? Because that's an interesting change of pace all of a sudden. No, 1.1, okay, so I think that was an error from Cliffy. I don't think that's a consistent pace failing. Sam Bamke gets as fast as out of the race. Tamworth Fox is out of the race. He's crashed out on the exit of turn. Yes, out of the exit of the long left after the second DRS straight. That is a shame for him. The Bookster is now behind Wheelam on the mediums, and Foxy Red still in 5th, but he's got Chilo Cookie up behind him. And I think we could be seeing a pass being made pretty soon. Because I think Chilo Cookie will definitely have the pace advantage here. And Sam Bamke has passed Shortbread. I keep missing these passes for second place. I switch away at completely the wrong time. There's Shortbread, 1.6 seconds down on his best, so he's clearly made an error as well. And now Sam Bamke with 4 seconds off the lead with 6 laps to go. Can he catch and pass the leader and take his 3rd win of the season? Of course, his Tamworth Fox Leader session, so his potential now that slipstream glitch will come into effect, which is not what we need when we're looking at a battle for the win, potentially. We'll have to carry on. So depending on how Foxy Red gets on, if he scores this amount of points, then Sam Bamkid won't make many inroads on his championship position. But if Foxy Red starts to drop, we could see Sam Bamkid potentially assume the lead if Foxy Red scores no points, or indeed come very, very close to the lead of the championship, as this is round 8. There are 12 rounds in this championship, so 4 rounds to go after this one, and those rounds will be Austria, Belgium, Abu Dhabi and Silverstone. So a couple of European tracks, a return to Asia, and then Legendary Silverstones finish off the season. We could be seeing battles at all of those circuits, as the championship really is hotting up now. But Sam Bamkid will need as many points as he can get. If he wins this one, he's going to give himself the best chance. And it really is impressive what he's done, considering he was not active in the first 3 rounds. He began his tenure in the league at round 3 at Monza in the Italian Grand Prix. Won that one. Won again at the US Grand Prix a week later. Then took 2nd place at Australia and a 3rd at Brazil. So he has not been off the podium yet. So really, that consistency, that consistent ability to run at the top of the field is what is giving him his shot at the championship. Plexit's pit there, as you can see, he's now on the super soft tyres. He's dropped behind the Boogster, who has not stopped. And Chillo Cookie yet to pass Foxy Red. That's interesting. I would have thought he'd got past him now, being on the superior tyres. Perhaps some slipstream glitch now coming into effect. We'll actually have to see. Here we go. Out onto the start-finish straight. Let's see what can happen. Foxy Red makes a little weave towards the pits. Nothing happens. No, okay, so slipstream still active then. That's good to see. As the Williams pulls alongside with DRS open, passes the McLaren. Is the McLaren going to have a go? Brakes very late indeed, causes a bit of contact by turning in quite early to get the car in. Loses the rear end a little bit, does the Williams, but has passed Foxy Red. So Foxy Red down to P6. P6 only worth 5 points, I believe. Yeah, so that's 5 points for Foxy Red there. Sam Bamkid earning 10 currently. That would reduce the championship gap to 7 points. But Foxy Red also has Wheelam on supers behind him, and he could be losing another position, dropping down to just 4 points scored for P7 if he cannot defend this spot. Wheelam accelerates out of double left, sorry, and along the back straight, but double DRS does not help. Brakes quite early for that left. Oh, gets caught on the curb. Chillo Cookie runs wide as well. Lots of a little bit of sympathy mistakes going on there, I think. Saw the car in front go off and immediately followed him. I wonder what you see in MotoGP. And along the final straight before the lap begins all over again. All brakes very late. Needs to get the exit though to be able to make a pass, and he does not really. Foxy Red still within DRS range of the Williams in front. So probably not going to be seeing any positions changing here, unless an almighty dive bomb occurs. Foxy Red though looking at the inside of the Williams, he goes for it. Will the Williams try the cutback? Oh, he does, but there's contact with his rear wheel, misjudged the length of his car slightly there. That's not ideal. Williams has actually dropped back a little bit, potentially not wanting to get involved in the potential collisions that might occur. Sam Bamkid 3.5 seconds off the lead, and I think his supers are going off because Shortbread catching up to about a second the gap now. And I think a similar story. Oh my word, Williams actually lost his front end plate. Did he hit that on the Williams? I think he might have done. Well, that's his efforts at 5th place probably over. He might get 6th since Chillo is appearing to struggle as well. Potentially got wing damage from the contact with the back of the McLaren at the first corner. We have seen a lot of damage taken by drivers this race, 2 crash out retirements at this corner in fact, and a lot of front wing damage occurred in contact Some guys running into the back of each other in braking zones and the like. Runs very wide there. The worst Whelan could probably finish now is probably just outside the points, I think. If he stops now, that's where he'll be. So Foxy Red is currently maintaining that P5, but he has got a lot of wear on those tyres, I am sure. There's 2 laps to go at the end of this one as Knight properly falls here in Bahrain. He's in rich mix, he's got a lot of slipstream and DRS at the inside. He's very, very cautious on the brakes, is Chillo Cookie. Comes up alongside but doesn't quite have the aggression that you might expect. Oh, he doesn't commit to the move up the inside either, allows himself to get bullied around a touch there. As Foxy Red though overshoots turn 4, that allows an enormous cutback from the Williams. He's going to try at the inside at turn 5. He needs to be more aggressive there because he's allowing the McLaren to swoop back around. He's going to do it again here. Yeah, look at that, he's allowing him to just chuck ones up the inside. There was a bit of contact at turn 6 as well, and this is allowing the Haas of Whelan to get involved. The Whelan just crashes into the back of the Williams because he can't judge. Oh, and they get stuck together a little bit. I was saying, Whelan can't react to the very, very early braking Chillo Cookie. Chillo being actually a little bit dangerous with that extremely early braking. I'm not quite, because he's just braking early at pretty much every corner. I don't know if that's a lack of confidence in the setup or if he's essentially not running the line when he has done in the past. There are lots of reasons why guys might brake early. I hope they aren't malicious ones. But there's now barely any of that front wing on the Haas left, so he's going to be trundling around to probably only a P8 finish. The Boogster has got in front, but on those worn mediums, and we are now seeing well, it's a 4-car battle. It's probably about to become a 3-car battle for P5. The mediums on those guys really lasting a long time, but they are not fast tyres now. Right, here we go then. Chillo Cookie pulls alongside. He's going to be ahead as they head to the braking zone. Is he going to allow the McLaren at the inside? He does. Will he actually get the run out of the corner? Runs quite wide. He does get the run out, but the McLaren got the nicer trajectory through turn 2. He's going to be at the inside. He's not forcing him at all. At the inside goes the McLaren. Will the Williams try the cutback? He does, but the McLaren positions the car very nicely. So Boogster has actually dropped off the back of these guys again. 1 lap to go at the end of this one. This is the second to last lap. Sam Amkid now with a gap down to 2.8 seconds, but it's not enough, I don't think, unless Cliffy makes a very uncharacteristic mistake. He's all over the back of him, but it seems like he just doesn't have the confidence on the brakes to get up the inside, make the move stick. Through right-hander here, they're close, they're nose to tail, just 2 tenths separate them. Oh, he runs wide at that corner, and that's not ideal at all. He's dropped now to 5 tenths behind him, having been just 2 tenths up. The leaders have started their final lap. These guys will be coming onto it shortly. Can Chillo Cookie do anything to take this 5th position? I don't know about any penalties or anything, so as Foxy Red moves all the way across to the inside of the circuit, I don't think he's close enough, but maybe he's running a really low aero setup or something, because my word, the straight line speed advantage he's got, brakes quite early, doesn't go for the move up the inside. You'll have to wait for another corner, potentially a move at the final corner, maybe a move up into turn 4, but I think he's too far back for that now. He's got very little fuel left, fuel light flashing on the car there. Turn right for turn 4, away up to the left goes the long, since whatever it was, decade circuit. Right, nothing he can do there. Can he get up the inside at the double left? I don't think so. I think his tyre's starting to go off now as well. Sam Amkid 2.7 seconds. Look how early he brakes that corner. I think there's a lack of confidence on the brakes from Chillo Cookie. I think that's his main issue as to why he cannot get past the championship leader in P5. For P5 he'll get 6 points, so... And there we go, Cliffy takes the win from Sam Amkid, who has a penalty, so ends up 5.7 down anyway. Shortbread rounds out the podium in P3, another great drive from him. Ollie Flavel will get 4th. Can Chillo do anything about this McLaren in front? It doesn't look like it to me. He didn't get the run out of the corner he would have needed to be able to make a pass. Here we go then towards the final corner, using all the road available to him. Foxy Red actually misses the apex a little bit, but gets a good exit. There's nothing the Williams can do. So Foxy Red will come from 11th to 5th. It's P6 for Chillo Cookie. Boogster is 7th. MTLR Whelan will come home in 8th. Plexits is 9th. Nicky will round out the top 10, I think, there with the final point, with Delange and Apollo not too far behind. Disappointing for those guys not to score any points. Well done to Cliffy for the win once again. His second win in a row. Rossi, so Whelan not happy about the defending from Foxy Red, causing him to hit Chillo. I think potentially it was Chillo's early braking as well. There you are, podium for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's Cliffy from Sambamkid from Shortbread as they spray, well, the rose water. And there is your confirmation then. Cliffy with the win from pole. He takes it. It is Sam Bamkid in second with Shortbread third, top 3 staying the same. Ollie Flavel comes from 5th to 4th, up 1 position. Foxy Red comes from 11th to 5th, showing that his championship lead is an earned one. He is not a slow driver. He has got the pace when it matters. Chillo Cookie is 6th, Boogster is 7th, Whelan 8th, Plexits 9th and Delange 10th. So could have been better for those Toro Rosso guys. Apollo, Nicky and Tamworth there outside the points. And there we go, the championship lead for Foxy Red shrunk to 8 points as we head to the final 4 rounds of the season, the final third. And I hope you join us next time for the Austrian Grand Prix live from the Red Bull Ring, just outside Spielberg. But until then, I've been your commentator, H Racing Green. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, goodbye.